Where is God hiding? Once upon a time, God called all his angel advisors together and told them, "I need a vacation." Then asked, "Where can I hide for a while where no one will find me?" Michael suggested that God hide on the dark side of the moon. They will never look for you there. Raphael piped up, "Hide at the bottom of the ocean. They will never look for you there." God said, No, I have it. I will hide in their hearts. They will never look for me there." Jesus teaches us that the one place that he and the Father want to be is in our hearts. God will never leave us orphans, for God's Spirit dwells in us. One of the hardest and most profound experiences we all pass through is the death of loved ones. We experience it as wrenching separation. Over time, with lots of prayer, we may come to realize that, in an ultimate sense, death has deepened our spiritual union with our beloved deceased. How is this possible? It is possible because the most important part of ourself is from God and is in God, our spirit, our soul. In the depth of our hearts, we are eternally one in the love of God. When Jesus died, the disciples initially experienced devastating separation. But in the resurrection, Jesus revealed that though he died, he is not gone. For about 40 days, the disciples experienced Jesus' presence as resurrected. But the resurrected Jesus promised them and us something deeper. He promised to be present to us through the Holy Spirit. Jesus promised that his Spirit would live in our hearts. This is not easy to grasp. It calls us to become aware of Jesus' spiritual presence without his physical manifestation. These may be very consoling words, but they are difficult to accept. Our brains, a part of the world, cannot know this level of reality. Though this is difficult to grasp, it is absolutely essential for living fully. A poem by T.S. Eliot tries to give expression to this spiritual dimension of life. From the 4 quartets. We must be still and still moving into another intensity for a further union, a deeper communion. I'll say that again. We must be still and still moving into another intensity for a further union, a deeper communion. Our everyday way of thinking cannot see what Eliot is speaking of. How can we ponder this level of spiritual reality? One approach is to follow the clues of relationality instead of rationality. Life, all of life, is relational. Sperm and egg meet and become us. We live through our mother's blood for 9 months. At birth, we emerge into the air and we breathe to sustain life. Deepening our symbiotic relationship, we eat and drink. We are established and sustained by the material world around us. Even on a social level, we are cared for by others. We internalize the influence of others. We become ourselves in relationship to others. We even understand ourselves mostly through the relationships we have: daughter, son, mother, father, husband, wife, brother, sister, friend. No one is really self-reliant. Our I is always grounded in an interdependent we. Let's move to the spiritual level. Our spiritual self is also a relational reality. This gets a little hard to grasp. Our spirit is a non-spatial reality created by God. God, the Creator Spirit, is always present to us, the created spirits, and we are always present to God. God sustains us in being. Another way of saying this is that God is constantly filling us with life. Next, God, the Creator, is not within time. God is the source of time. Death, therefore, does not affect God, nor does it affect the part of us that is within God. This is the reality that T.S. Eliot is trying to give expression to. We must be still and still moving into another intensity for a further union, a deeper communion. Jesus said, "On that day you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I in you." Though there have been many negative aspects of the current crisis, for many people there has been a spiritual deepening. Because we have been isolated, we've had to look for a deeper communion to get us through the day. We certainly miss those we love. This makes us aware of another intensity to our union. We have become still and still moving. Where is God hiding?